This is Moonstalker at that place for walkthroughs with MaiLing of Dragon Age Origins. Brought it up to about where we left off after the crash. I can use these now. Dexterity's 22.
And so I shall.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
And there you have it.
I would like some enchanting done.
Enchantment!
Yes.
Indeed.
We're coming here to see the mages, right? Oh, great. They just love me.
Oh, relax, Alistair. It'll be fine.
You're not looking to get across to the tower, are you? Because I have strict orders not to let anyone pass.
I'm a Grey Warden, and I seek the assistance of the mages.
Oh, you're a Grey Warden, are you? Prove it.
I have these documents here.
Yes. Oh, a Grey Warden seal. Aha! So you're claiming to be one of those. You know, I have some documents too. They say I'm the Queen of Antiva. What do you think of that?
Not much. You're obviously a Templar.
And if you can't prove you're who you say you are, I'm not letting you in. Anyway, it was nice chatting with you. Now, on your way, right now, go.
Can't we work something out?
That dark-eyed temptress over there. Surely the tower would be far too dull for her. Because it gets a little lonely out here sometimes. And, you know, you could just leave her with me.
Oh, excellent. I have been hoping for new prey.
Pray?
Twill take but a moment. Perhaps you should go aboard the vessel to prepare while we are away. We must row ourselves across. I fear the lad will no longer have the use of his limbs or his eyes once I am done with him.
Huh. Well, maybe I should,
Wonderful. I can sense his terror. Oh, that will make the loving all the sweeter.
So you said you wanted to get across. Maybe we should go now. Right now. Now.
Yes, let us go.
Come along, I suppose.
Thank you.
And I want 2 men stationed within sight of the doors at all times. Do not open the doors without my express consent. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
The doors are barred. Are they keeping people out or in?
Now we wait and pray.
Gregor, good to see you again.
Well, look who's back. A proper Grey Warden now, are we? Glad you're not dead.
You're looking well yourself, if a bit harried.
Perhaps. Now we're dealing with a situation that doesn't involve you, Grey Warden.
The tower was my home. I want to know what's happened.
I shall speak plainly. The tower is no longer under our control. Abominations and demons stalk the tower's halls. We were too complacent. First Jowan, now this. Don't think I've forgotten your role in Jowan's escape.
Jowan's escape seems small compared to the situation here.
True enough.
What has become of the first enchanter?
We don't know. We saw only demons, hunting Templars and mages alike. I realized we could not defeat them and told my men to flee.
What can I do to help?
I have sent word to Denerim, calling for reinforcements and the right of annulment.
How can you think of annulling the entire circle?
The mages are probably already dead. Any abominations remaining in there must be dealt with, no matter what.
This situation is dire. There is no alternative. Everything in the tower must be destroyed so it can be made safe again.
The mages are not defenseless. Some must still live.
If any are still alive, the Maker himself has shielded them. No one could have survived those monstrous creatures. It is too painful to hope for survivors and find nothing.
I will look for them.
I assure you, an abomination is a force to be reckoned with, and you will face more than one.
Abominations cannot stand against me.
If you succeed, I would owe you much, enough that I would pledge my Templars to your cause. Without word from Denerim, I must determine our course. Surely destroying Darkspawn is a worthy goal.
We have agreement then.
A word of caution. Once you cross that threshold, there is no turning back. The great doors must remain barred. I will open them for no one until I have proof that it is safe. I will only believe it is over if the first enchanter stands before me and tells me it is so. If Irving has fallen, then the circle is lost and must be destroyed. May Andraste lend you her courage, whatever you decide.
I don't want to die.
I wish this were over. We're running low on supplies, and I don't know how much longer we'll last.
You have surprise for us, sir?
Yes. Would you like to trade?
All right. Andro's Blessing. +2 to attributes. 20% nature resistance. +1 mana regeneration in combat. +10 physical resistance. Staff the Magister Lord. +2 mana regeneration in combat. +6 spell power. +6 willpower. 10% fire and spirit damage resistance. Or damage, yeah. Okay. Back Mountains.
You have coin, stranger? Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
Let's see.
As you desire. As you
Morgan. MaiLing, are you alright? You have injury.
As you wish. I see.
Can I interest you in something? I've got the finest selection of previously owned armour and weaponry this side of Val Royeaux.
Previously owned?
Why pay through the nose for new equipment when you can buy like new for much, much less?
Where do you get the like new armor from?
Oh, here and there. Look, that's really not important. The important thing is, it's cheap. And just as good as what you'd find at a smithy.
I take a look.
Oh, of course. And remember, everything's covered by Farron's 24-hour lifetime guarantee. King Loghain will not see. Appointed messenger.
Vieta, this land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
I have urgent news. Need to talk to your king.
Who doesn't? If I don't get in, no one should.
Orzammar has no king. Endrin Idukan returned to the stone not 3 weeks ago, sick over the loss of his sons. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Grey Wardens need their traditional dwarven allies.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden.
That's enough. Raise your blade if you're so tough.
I will at that. I'm a messenger of King Loghain.
Kill each other as you will, but take your sodding fight off my doorstep.
Stub your toe.
They're all so
Now may we go in?
You've done me a service. That fool Imrek was barking for a week. Are all humans so touched? You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden. Though I don't know what help you will find. Those statues are dwarven paragons.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter.
Best of
If you
their
were carved like
ancestors.
Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
I have a wonder, Alistair, if you will indulge me.
Do I have a choice?
Of the two of you that remain, are you not the senior Grey Warden here? I find it curious that you allow another to lead while you follow.
You find that curious, do you?
In fact, you defer to a new recruit. Is this the policy of the Grey Wardens, or simply a personal one?
What do you want to hear? That I prefer to follow? I do.
You sound so very defensive.
Couldn't you crawl into a bush somewhere and die? That would be great, thanks.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
Do not speak that way about the man who should be king! I'll have him in the Legion.
Where did they put all the rock, I wonder? I do not even want to think from what manner of substance a cave-dwelling people would create their spirits.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for.
Let me see what you have in your store.
I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
So I take it you did not enjoy your Templar training?
That's directed at me, I take it.
Do you see any others about who have failed at their religious instruction?
I didn't fail, I was recruited into the Grey Wardens.
And if you had not been recruited, what would have happened instead?
I would have turned into a drooling lunatic, slaughtered the Grand Cleric, and run through the streets of Denerim in my small clothes, I guess.
Your self-awareness doesn't hurt.
I thought you'd like that.
And so...
Tough.
Of course.
Let's go.
Well, all right. Excuse me, do you have a...
Greetings, and welcome to Garen Garrison's luxury goods shop. Wow, there are a lot of you. And I've never seen one of those before. The things they come up with. What was I saying?
Have a look at my shop, I hope.
Right. Yeah, I have some lovely things here. Lyrium enhanced, of course.
Life giver. Here you go, Morgan.
The deep roads are home to the Darkspawn now. Oddly, they're supposed to be safer to travel during a blight.
Questions arise regarding Lord MaiLing's impending marriage. The Catholic commoners. Favoritism to the Catholics.
Of course.
Lord Harrowmont, said to have kicked Castless in the street. Does he respect none beneath his station?
So, how is it the dwarves have a king? I thought they voted on everything, or something like that.
The assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions.
This don't look good. Who are you?
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulin Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help.
I would speak with Lord Harrowmont.
In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching Harrowmont under a pretense of friendship. So I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you.
How can I prove I'm not working for Balin?
That's a generous offer. If you mean it, you might attend the proving today. The Deshers take it very seriously. And unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down.
Do you want me to find out why they dropped out?
That would be enlightening. Though I hope you won't pry too deeply into things they don't wish revealed. If you wish to show your loyalty, enter the proving as his lordship's champion. With your order's reputation, I've no doubt the ancestors would favor your arm. Balin would never work with anyone who humiliated him in that way. Harrowmont would have no fear of meeting with you then.
I will enter the proving and see why the others withdrew.
Excellent. The arena is located off the Commons. Talk to the proving master and tell him you're entering Lord Harrowmont's roster. The key fighters we lost were Guidon and Baisel. You can look for them in the fighters' preparation chambers behind the ring. And be sure it's before the fights begin. After the first bout, no one may change the roster. If you need to find me again, I will wait in the Tapster's Tavern off the Commons. There is no better place to hear gossip. Perhaps even word of your victory.
How exciting.
Grey Warden arrives in Orzammar, most likely to pay respect to the rightful king. News of the hour. Is Lord Balin considering a dissolution of the king's clan?
Be 2 years tomorrow.
So, I've been hearing.
Have a care where your eyes linger, Alistair.
Yes, well, don't worry. It's not what you think.
I see.
I was looking at your nose.
And what is it about my nose that captivates you so?
I was just thinking that it looks exactly like your mother's.
I hate you so much. Never mind.
The Proving Grounds. Bloodsport entertainment for the masses, at its best.
New quest. Key to the city.
Stop looking at me, mongrel. I have nothing you want. Why do you keep staring at me so, you flea-ridden beast? Can you not tell when you are not wanted? I enjoy company of...
Lord Balin is, bad.
Legion of the Dead Warriors secretly wear Prince Balin's colors. Our prince has Orzamar's deadliest warriors behind him.
As you...
And here it is. Key to the city. +2 to all attributes, +4% spell resistance, +10% healing effects received.
News of the hour. Support Lord Harrowmont at your own peril. Darkspawn will override.
News of the hour. 3 more clans endorse Lord Harrowmont as...
Lovely.
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk about your mother.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. And besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Oh, we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
Back to Lothering.
Here's people who can fight the entire line.
Here you go. And we're back. Found out a few gifts. Store some stuff. Sell some stuff.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
A fine gift. You have my thanks. 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 A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Minor magic.
Something on your mind?
Has anyone ever told you how handsome you are?
Not unless they were asking me for a favor. Well, there was that one time in Denerim, but those women were not like you. Why? Is this your way of telling me you think I'm handsome?
My lips are sealed.
Oh, I get it. I'll get it out of you yet. So, is this the part where I get to say the same?
Not unless you don't think so.
Oh, I think so. I'll just spring it on you when it's a surprise.
Dork.
At your service.
I have some questions.
Of course.
Tell me about Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
So what happened now that there's just two of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Logain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
I have no more questions.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. At your service. Of course.
So you said our Eamon raised you?
Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
Really? That must be tough for them.
Well, they were flying dogs, you see. Surprisingly strict parents, too. And devout Andrastians to boot.
Uh-huh. Raised by frying devout dogs. I see.
Or did I dream all of that? Funny the dreams you'll have when you sleep on the cold, hard ground, isn't it? Are you having strange dreams?
Yes. They all involve strangling you.
You would do violence upon me? I am shocked and dismayed. The dogs would never threaten me like this, you know. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Our Lehman wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
Why did he do that to you?
Our Lehman eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Arlessa, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
What an awful thing to do to a child.
Maybe. She felt threatened by my presence, I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumors were true herself, I bet. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
You were young, Alistair.
And raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that. I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Caelan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Lovely.
Let him take notice and shine upon thee, for thou hast done his work this day.
3 gold. Nice.
Given up, you know. Lovely.
He found the body of the boy's mother and recovered her keepsake.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just. And the stars stood still, the winds did quiet, and all animals of earth and air held their breath. All was silent in prayer and thanks.
Did you speak to that knight yesterday?
He talked to everyone in the tavern.
Well, look what we have here, men. I think we've just been blessed.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about a woman by this very description, and everyone said they hadn't seen her?
It seems we were lied to.
Gentlemen, surely there is no need for trouble. This is no doubt simply another poor soul seeking refuge.
Out of our way, sister. If you insist on protecting a traitor, I've no trouble teaching you a lesson.
Let's talk about this before things get out of hand.
I doubt he would listen. He blindly follows his master's commands.
I am not the blind one. I served at Ostagar, where the Turn saved us from the Grey Warden's treachery. I serve him gladly. Enough talk! Take the Warden into custody. Kill the sister and anyone else that gets in your way.
Right. Let's make this quick.
How rude.
We'll just get along.
Surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
The Grey Wardens didn't betray King Cailan. Loghain did.
I was there! The Turn pulled us out of a trap.
The Turn left the king to die.
The Wardens led the king to his death. The Turn could do nothing!
You really are blind.
Please wait!
They have surrendered. They were no match for you. Let them be.
They were going to kill us.
But they failed, and I do not wish death on anyone.
Then give them a final prayer, sister.
You mean... Very well. May the Maker forgive your trespasses. May he keep you in his sight and guide you.
Oh well, another
Sometimes. I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help.
I see. Where does a sister learn to fight like that?
I wasn't born in the Chantry, you know. Many of us had more colorful lives before we joined. Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was.
I'm MaiLing. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey Wardens do. I know after what happened, you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along.
I will need help. That's true. But what use or help would you be to me?
The Maker told me to join you. Surely, he would not do so without good reason.
Can you elaborate?
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision. Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
Very well. I will not turn away help when it is offered.
Thank you. I appreciate being given this chance. I will not let you down. Indeed.
Let's give you some clothing.
What now?
You're here about food. Take it up with that bleeding runt by the chantry. I got other gear to sell.
Know of any well-paying work in Lothering?
Check the chanter's board by the chantry. There's good jobs there. I don't suppose you know anything about, poison?
I have dabbled in such things.
I figured if I kept asking, I'd find someone. I'd pay good coin for some simple poison. Something to slow them beasties down or make them think twice.
Any idea where I could get ingredients?
Well, there's herbs in the North Wood. As for other stuff, look around town. Some refugees just left things behind to travel faster. I don't really know what you need, though. I might have some in stock, too.
Show me what you have. New quest.
Any luck with that poison? Or you here to see my stock?
I have what you asked for.
Splendid! If those beasties come on my land, I hope it teaches them a lesson. Yeah, enough gold to cover any of your expenses and then some, hey?
That's silver, not gold.
So Terran Logain is the new regent? Isn't that a good thing?
I heard that he may have had something to do with the king's death. Probably political nonsense. We'll be lucky. I have country fighting over the throne.
Yes?
I like to talk.
Well, here I am.
This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
So, it's just a dream. Why say it's a vision?
I have had dreams. This was different somehow. When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell, or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
But the Chantry says the Maker has left us.
He's still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves. I feel him in the sunlight that warms my skin. I know what the Chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me?
Believe what feels right to you, Liliana.
Thank you. It's nice to find someone who agrees. I know what I know, and no one will ever make that untrue. Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say. Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much. Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much. Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Why did you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
Why did she leave Ferelden then?
She had served Cecily, the Lady Cecily, for many years and was loyal to her. Cecily was a good person. She was always kind to me. Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
You're young. It is understandable.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andrastis Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on. Something I can help with?
I would like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Do you miss anything about Orlais?
I miss Val-Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val-Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val-Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent.
It sounds wonderful.
Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
What sorts of things?
Dresses, fine dresses and furs, and shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes! Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
Oh, I love shoes.
When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
That sounds so lovely.
I had my eye on a pair my shoemaker was working on. It was covered in pale blue silk, with amber beads on the toe. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky, fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
I know, right? So ugly and shapeless.
They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
Okay. What's up?
We done heard what was said. You're a warden. I don't know if you killed King Cailan, and make her forgive me, I don't care. But that bounty on your head could feed a lot of hungry bellies. Attack!
I think Bodan has a heart that Liliana would like.
Are you sure I can't interest you in this hat? I'm sure...
Yeah. No, it's a loot. Fat loot. It's a gift.
That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say.
A fine gift. You have my thanks. A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Indeed. Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Nothing. Never mind.
Something I can help with?
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
You just don't seem to belong in a cloister.
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
And what did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on. Something I can help with?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
I heard in Orlais minstrels are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
Oh, I don't remember. Is it true or not?
Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
And the bards are spies?
Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Patron? What sort of patron?
Nobles, mostly. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You seem to know quite a lot about these bards.
And I should, shouldn't I, after having spent most of my adult life as one? You've guessed as much, I'm sure. But does it really matter what I was? What's past is past.
I'd never leave that. Sounds too exciting.
The excitement of the life wears off very quickly, I'm afraid. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here. I lied to you, you know, about why I left Orlais.
So you didn't get tired of the life?
In a way I did. But these feelings were triggered by events which I did not tell you about. I didn't feel like talking about it then. What happened to me? Maybe it will affect us, maybe not, but you should know. I came to Ferelden and the Chantry because I was being hunted in Orlais.
Fascinating. Tell me more.
I was framed, betrayed by someone I thought I knew and could trust. Marjolaine. She was my mentor and friend. She taught me the bardic arts, how to enchant with words and song, to carry myself like a highborn lady, to blend in as a servant. The skills I learned, I used to serve her, my bard master, because I loved her, and because I enjoyed what I did.
You loved her?
She was a remarkable woman. I cannot fully express the admiration I had for her, or the depth of my affection. I thought I knew her. My devotion to her blinded me to her less than noble attributes. You can say it was my fault. There was a man I was sent to kill. I was to bring Marjolaine everything he carried. I don't know who this man was. She gave me a name and a description, and I hunted him down. I found documents on his body, sealed documents.
You opened them, didn't you?
My curiosity got the better of me. Something told me that I needed to know what was in those letters. Marjolaine had been selling all kinds of information about Orlais to other countries, Nevara and Antiva among others. It was treason.
But isn't that what bards do?
Some. But I had always assumed Marjolaine only operated within Orlais. This was an unhappy surprise for me. My life as bard taught me that my loyalties should be kept fluid. My concern was not that she was a traitor, but that her life would be in danger if she was caught. Orlais has been at war with so many countries. It takes a harsh view of such things, as I later discovered.
What do you mean?
I should have left well alone, but I didn't. I had to tell Marjolaine I feared for her life. She brushed aside my concern. She admitted her guilt, but said it was in the past. That is why the documents had to be destroyed, she said. I believed her. I kept believing, up till the moment they showed me the documents, altered by her hand, to make me look the traitor.
She betrayed you.
Yes, the Orlesian guards. They captured me. Did terrible things to make me confess and reveal my conspirators. It was a traitor's punishment I endured. And at the end of it, All that awaited me was eternity in an unmarked grave.
Oh, unpleasant.
The skills Marjolaine taught me were good for something at least. I broke free when I saw the opportunity. I did not seek Marjolaine out. If she thought I was coming for her, she would have me caught again.
And so you came to Ferelden, to Lothering.
I was tempted to confront her. I was furious, betrayed. But what could I do against her? And so I fled to Ferelden, to the Chantry and the Maker. Ferelden protected my person, and the Maker saved my soul. And that is the reason I am here. The real reason. No more lies between us, at least in this.
Thank you for trusting me with this.
It feels good to have this off my chest. Thank you for listening and understanding. Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear your hair?
No, I don't believe you have.
It's very nice, and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels. One year, feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else, and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair. The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels.
Poor birds.
Yes, I don't envy them. She never washed her hair. But I was trying to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable talking to you, like I could say anything and you wouldn't judge me.
Well, I actually do like the way you ramble.
You see? This is what I mean. You're such a pleasure to talk to. I haven't felt this close to anyone in a long time. I really enjoy your company.
And do you often enjoy the company of other women?
And what would you do if I said I do? Very much so, in fact.
Think I might giggle? Maybe look coy?
Huh? You must do that then. Perhaps later when I'm not prepared for it. Surprise me. Come then, let's get going. If I recall correctly, you have some important earth-shattering business to attend to.
Wow.
At your service.
I have some questions.
Of course.
If you raise... no. Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
In that case, you should have become a mage.
Oh, you aren't kidding. I think the Templar uniforms are as colorful as they are just so the Templars didn't feel dull in comparison. Last thing you want when you're about to take down some Maleficar out in the woods is to have him point and laugh at your taste in clothing, am I right?
Seems like that might happen anyway.
Oh, ow, ow. Stab wounds to the pride are the worst. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Then make up something more exciting.
You know, I like the way you think. But I guess if you're really curious, there's no harm in obliging. I have a couple of interesting looking moles I can show you later too, if you're interested. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
Enjoyed hunting mages, did you?
No, I never got that far. I mostly learned about discipline, and training my mind to use the abilities that Templars have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
I guess my home is with the Grey Wardens now. With you.
Really? I guess I like the sound of that. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
You can always keep traveling.
Maybe. Could you? I don't know what I'd find out there that would be any different. I guess it would depend on where I was going. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
This is Moonstalker, at a place for walkthroughs, with MaiLing of Dragon Age Origins. Catch you on the flip side.